The first time Commander Elira of the Volari Dominion heard about humans, she laughed. It wasn't a polite laugh either. It was the kind that echoed through the high glass halls of the Dominion Council chamber.
Primitive, she had said.
Barely spacefaring. Emotionally unstable. Violent. Short-lived. Several of the other alien delegates nodded in agreement. Humanity, according to their records, had only recently begun exploring the outer edges of their solar system. Their technology was clumsy. Their governments were chaotic. Their species fought among themselves constantly. Compared to the Volari, an ancient civilization that had mastered faster-than-light travel thousands of years ago, humans were children. Elira had spent her life commanding fleets and negotiating with dozens of alien cultures across the galaxy. And she had absolutely no interest in humanity. Unfortunately for her, the universe had other plans. The Volari Dominion controlled a massive region of space, known as the Orion Passage, a network of trade routes connecting dozens of star systems. One quiet cycle, a patrol ship reported something unusual. A human vessel had entered Volari territory, alone, small, unarmed, and broadcasting a diplomatic signal. The Council considered it a curiosity, but protocol required that someone investigate. Commander Elira was chosen. She wasn't happy about it. "Why must I waste my time escorting a primitive explorer back to its home system?" she asked. The council elder responded calmly. "Because diplomacy, Commander, sometimes begins with the smallest encounter." She sighed. Very well. She would meet this human and send him home. The human ship was exactly what Elira expected. Small, clumsy, barely held together by what appeared to be human engineering creativity, which was another way of saying improvised solutions and questionable wiring. Her cruiser, the Silver Horizon, dwarfed it like a whale beside a fishing boat. She boarded the human vessel with 2 guards. The air inside smelled strange, warm, organic. Not sterile like Volari ships. A man stood waiting in the central corridor. He looked ordinary. Dark hair, tired eyes, a simple pilot's jacket. He raised his hands politely when they approached. "I assume you're the welcoming committee," he said. Elira activated her translator. "You have entered Volari territory without authorization." The man nodded.
"Yeah, about that.
"My navigation system kind of miscalculated." She raised an eyebrow. "Miscalculated?" "Long story." Her guards looked irritated, but Elira studied him carefully. This was the species the galaxy considered chaotic and dangerous. Yet this human seemed calm. "I am Commander Elira," she said. "Daniel Carter," the human replied. "Pilot." His smile was disarmingly relaxed, and Elira immediately found it suspicious. Over the next several hours, Elira inspected the human ship. Daniel followed her, explaining things as she examined his equipment. "This engine is held together with adhesive compounds," she observed. "Industrial adhesive," Daniel corrected proudly. "Works great." "You rely on glue?" "Hey, don't underestimate glue." Her guards exchanged confused looks. This human was not behaving the way their intelligence files described. He wasn't aggressive, or arrogant, or reckless. He was practical and oddly optimistic. Eventually, Elira asked the obvious question. "Why did you leave your system alone?" Daniel shrugged. "Exploration." "You risked death for curiosity?" "Pretty much." Elira frowned. Volari explorers traveled in fleets, with advanced scanners and carefully calculated routes. Humans apparently just went. She decided this confirmed her original belief. Humans were reckless. But things changed when the pirates attacked. They came out of hyperspace without warning. 3 ships. Fast. Heavily armed. Not Volari. Not human. just opportunistic raiders who had spotted two isolated vessels in deep space. Elira's cruiser immediately engaged defensive systems. Energy cannons fired brilliant beams across the darkness. But the pirates had numbers. "Commander," her officer said urgently, "they're targeting the human vessel." Daniel's ship had almost no weapons. Within seconds, its shields collapsed. Elira watched the human ship tumble under enemy fire. "Open communication," she ordered. Daniel's face appeared on the screen. "Guess I picked the wrong neighborhood," he said calmly. "Prepare to evacuate your ship," Elira told him. "Way ahead of you." His small escape craft launched just as the pirate ships fired again. Daniel's vessel exploded. The escape pod drifted toward Elira's cruiser. Her officers looked uncertain. "Commander, we should focus on the battle." Elira hesitated for half a second. Then she made a decision. Retrieve the human. The battle lasted 15 minutes. Volari technology was superior, but the pirates fought viciously. Eventually, the attackers retreated, vanishing into hyperspace. The silence afterward felt enormous. Elira stood in the medical bay as Daniel climbed out of the escape pod. He looked shaken but alive. "Well," he said, "that could have gone worse." "You lost your ship," Elira pointed out.
He sighed.
"Yeah, that part's unfortunate. Does that not concern you?"
"Oh, it does."
"But worrying won't rebuild it." He looked around the sleek alien medical room. "So, I guess I'm your guest now." Elira studied him. "You remain remarkably calm for someone who just lost everything." Daniel shrugged. "Humans get used to things going wrong." Over the next several days, Daniel remained aboard the Silver Horizon. Protocol required Elira to transport him back to human space. But the journey would take weeks, which meant Daniel spent most of his time wandering the ship, talking to crew members, asking questions, learning. And somehow, despite being the least advanced being on the vessel, he became strangely popular. Volari crew members found his curiosity refreshing. His humor was unexpected, and his stories about Earth fascinated them. Elira observed this with growing confusion. One evening, she found him in the observation chamber staring at a distant nebula. "You should be resting," she said. He glanced at her. "Couldn't sleep." The colorful cloud of stars glowed beyond the glass. "Beautiful," he murmured. Elira stepped beside him. "Yes." After a moment, she said quietly, "Your species interests me." "That's a polite way of saying you don't understand us."
"Correct."
Daniel chuckled. "Most humans don't understand humans either." She looked at him. "Why do you explore alone?" He thought about it. "Because the universe is too big not to see." Elira felt something unfamiliar stir inside her chest. Curiosity, but also admiration. The next crisis arrived without warning. A distress signal reached the cruiser. A colony ship was under attack near the edge of the Orion Passage. Thousands of civilian lives were in danger. Elira immediately changed course. But when they arrived, the situation was worse than expected. The pirate fleet had returned. 5 ships this time. Her officers grew tense. "We cannot win this battle without reinforcements." But reinforcements were hours away. The colony ship wouldn't survive that long. Silence filled the command deck. Then Daniel spoke from behind them. "I might have an idea." Elira turned. "This is not your battle." "Maybe not," he said. "But I hate bullies." He stepped closer to the navigation console. "Your ship is faster than theirs, right?" "Yes." "And you've got better weapons?" "Yes." "Then don't fight them head-on." Her officers exchanged skeptical looks. Daniel pointed to the star map. "Use the asteroid field behind them." "That region is dangerous," an officer said. Daniel grinned. "Exactly." 10 minutes later, Elira's cruiser dove into the asteroid field. Pirate ships followed, confident in their numbers. But Daniel's plan worked. Volari sensors allowed the cruiser to navigate the debris easily. The pirates were not so lucky. 2 ships collided with massive asteroids. Another was destroyed by Volari cannons during the chaos. The remaining pirates fled. The colony ship survived. Cheers erupted across the cruiser. Elira turned toward Daniel. "You improvised that strategy in seconds." He shrugged. "Humans improvise a lot." She realized something then. Everything she believed about humans had been wrong. They weren't inadequate. They weren't reckless fools. They were adaptable, creative,
Brave.
and sometimes exactly what the galaxy needed. Weeks later, the cruiser finally reached human space. Daniel stood near the docking bay. "Well," he said softly, "this is my stop." Elira felt something tighten inside her chest. "You will build another ship?" "Eventually." He hesitated. "You could visit Earth sometime." She raised an eyebrow. "Are you inviting an alien commander to your planet?" "Why not?" He smiled. "You might like humans." Elira studied him carefully. For the first time in her life, she realized something surprising.
She already did.
And, more specifically, she liked this one very much. As Daniel stepped onto the human station, Commander Elira of the Volari Dominion finally understood the irony of her situation. For years she had dismissed humanity as insignificant. Yet the one species she had ignored had become the one she could not stop thinking about. The alien woman who once believed humans were unimportant had just fallen for one of them. And somewhere deep in the endless galaxy, a new story was only beginning.